Hey, hey! Welcome to Soul Sisters Podcast with Jesse
and Vicky. We're best friends, sisters in Christ, and your new favorite duo for all things faith, motherhood, real life chaos, and a whole lot of laughter.
Don't mind us if we go off on random talks.
It's just who we are.
But we'll also hold space for the hard stuff, the deep, honest, faith-filled conversations that matter.
So whether you're driving, folding laundry, or hiding in the bathroom for 5 minutes of peace, you've got a seat at our table. Come hang out with us. Hey guys!
Welcome back to another video.
We can't take anything seriously.
We are a mess.
You're
included. You are me and I am you. Okay? We are a mess. Agree.
It's a package deal.
You agree. Agree right now. We're a mess. We're a mess. Anyway.
We're a mess.
There we go. See? There we go.
The abuse is real.
Oh my gosh. Abuse. Listen. Today we are going to talk about how, I don't know if anybody else has experienced it. Well, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have experienced this. Mm-hmm. But we're going to talk about our own personal experiences here. How was it being a child?
Oh, Lord.
And feeling like you are being forced to go to church?
Oh, my God.
You have to go to church.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
No ifs, ands, or buts. I don't care if your leg's broken. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care if you got pink eye. We're going to church, and we'll sit in the back.
Oh, yeah.
So that nobody can see you or catch whatever you have. But we're going to go to church.
Oh, my God. For every little thing, you're going to church.
We're going to church. We can't miss a Sunday. We were forced to go to church.
Couldn't do any sports after school. No anything.
Yeah, no. Wednesday, no. Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, we got to go to church. Straight off the bus, right to church. Like, can I breathe?
I remember telling my mom, oh, I want to sign up for something. What are the days? Tuesdays and Thursdays. Nope, we got church those days. Okay, Mom. Hey, Mom, I need to study after school. What are the days that the study falls on? Tuesdays and Thursdays. Nope, you study at home.
I need tutoring. I'm failing math. When is tutoring? Tuesdays. You can't go. You're going to have to fail. Like, dang.
Like, really? It was so...
It was real. It was real. The feeling of going into my room and grabbing the pillow and going, like, are you serious right now? Not because I didn't like it, because I loved going to church as a kid. Mm-hmm. I loved it. I loved going to church. I had so many friends, I feel like
growing up, even going to the church, when I grew up and went to that church, it was just, we would go into like the holiness room or whatever, and grown-ups would do their thing, holiness and everything, doing their own thing.
It wasn't that it wasn't fun. It was fun, and I enjoyed going. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed listening to music, singing, being there for the preaching, being there with my friends, like doing all of that. It was just feeling like I didn't have a life outside of the church. Yes. That was the problem.
Yeah. Because I remember asking my mom, hey, Mom, can I do like a after-school dance thing? And it was on like a Friday, so I didn't have to do a church. We don't do that. Nope. We're Christians. Yeah. You can't do that. Nope. You can't participate. I'm like, Mom, I'm not going to do anything bad. So Lord, forgive me. But I remember lying to my mom and saying, actually, they moved the tutoring for that day. And I stayed after school and went to that dance. But I was like, I had no life. I had like no life. So I was
my
like,
gosh.
So then I finished everything, got everything ready, and was able to go home and everything. She did not even know.
Wait, did you change? You changed? Did you go change for tutoring? And then where did you change?
Oh, no, it stayed. I had the same school clothes, so I changed for the party thing. Changed back.
I was about to say, oh my God, that is so funny.
It was... I'm like, I wanted to have fun.
Did your mom watch these podcasts?
She'll yell at me later.
Oh my God.
But it's like, I wanted a life outside, and I felt like I could not only hang out with certain people. Like, literally, she would only let me hang out with one family, and that was the only family I could literally go out with to do stuff. Shout out to Nati, Vega, Ruti, all you guys. I know you guys watch, but like they were the only
keeping my girl
ones.
safe.
They were the only ones my mom would let me go to. I was only allowed to sleep over at their house. I was only like, we've known their family since forever, and I'm just like, dude, I was not allowed to do anything. So there was
no
the only
social
ones.
life.
Literally, it's like you have no social life. You can't talk to anybody. You can't do anything fun. And it's like, why?
Well, that comes to that here's we're gonna talk about why. So I seen a post. You know how we are with the posts and things like that. I seen a post about a pastor preaching about how our parents never let us do anything, blah, 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 blah. Exactly what we're talking about now. And he was like, think about it. Why didn't your parents let you do any of that?
Because they did the exact same thing.
Bing! Because they did the exact same thing. And if they could save you, if they could help you from going through trauma, from going through hurt, from going through a lot of different things that you're not supposed to be going through, like, that's what we're here. And now, speaking as a parent, now
And
that
as
we
an
have
adult.
our children as an adult, as parents, we're like, Genesis better not try what you did. She better not try what you did, because we're gonna have problems, not only with you but with me.
And that's like my thing. It's like I always tell my husband, I'm like, you know what? Obviously, they're gonna rebel. They're gonna do something.
Yeah.
You know, every teenager goes through that fact. And obviously, as a Christian and grown up as a teenager, we did it. We know it's gonna happen. You know, it's not something we can stop. But I'm like, I want her to at least have the heart to call me if she needs me.
Right.
And not be scared that we're gonna be angry. And I'm like, if she doesn't feel comfortable calling me, then have her call you, you know, like do something. But I'm just like, at the end of the day, it's like, if she tells me, oh mom, I'm going tutoring, are you? Are you really?
Going to tutoring just like that.
Like even Tim told me that he did it once. He would stay after school because he needed to do tutoring, and he would sneak out the back. And
I need to call him and make sure he is aware that you are sharing these stories with the podcast without his consent.
he's fine.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He was like, oh yeah, I used to, and he would go off and do what he needed to do, then come back. He's like, I knew when my dad would pick me up, so I would come back up to the front and wait for my dad there, and then, you know, I'm like,
You guys were bad. Oh my god.
Please.
I never did anything like that. I never did anything like that.
Yeah, mom, dad, she didn't do anything.
We never did anything like that.
Nothing, mom. No, she was behaved.
My brother did. You know what? I learned from my brother. I learned
not do it.
what not to do. I learned what not to do. You know how your
Or
siblings
how
are
not to get caught.
right, or how not to get caught. You know how your siblings are supposed to be like, teach you the right way and teach you like, teach you what to do. No, he taught me what not to do. And I love him. He's the best brother in the world, and I love him. But he did things, you know, that he wasn't supposed to do, and that helped me learn what not to do
And not get caught.
to not get my mom and dad mad. Every time he got in trouble, I was just like, all right, one for the notebook. Add that one as number 55. Like, add that one to the list.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I never did anything crazy like that. I mean, not that I was scared of my parents, but number one, I was kind of scared that something would happen to me if I did something like that. Like, I don't know, just my luck or something. Like, something bad would happen in the same area that I'm in, and then I would get caught up, or something bad would happen to me, and then I'll be like, Mom, look
And
what
not
happened
only
to me.
would they yell at you for sneaking out and not doing what you're supposed to, they would also yell on you on top of you for getting in trouble. So it's another butt whooping on top of the other one. It's like,
oh,
why am I mixing myself up here?
I never got whooped. Vicky. Never got whooped.
Must be nice to
I
send
almost
you.
did.
Must be nice to send you.
And my mom my mom had been wanting to wanting to whoop me real good for a long time. She's been waiting, for me to mess up so that she could whoop me, but we're going strong. I'm not gonna get whooped.
She might after this
I'm
episode.
gonna get whooped. No, I'm not saying anything. I didn't do anything wrong. She might whoop you. She might come and whoop you. And then I'm gonna take notes and say what not to say on the podcast. because you're talking too much. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, no, that I never really got whooped like that. I was a good girl.
That's the thing. It's like the only thing that I ever did was literally just sneak out for that party, and I wasn't even sneaking out.
Did you feel like? How did you feel when you did it? It probably felt so good, right?
It felt good, but I
like,
was also scared that
crap,
my
what
mom
if I
knew. But she didn't know anything. Like, she really thought like nothing of it, and it's like, you know, I mean, it felt like good, but then, you know, you feel guilty and bad afterwards. But like I said, I've never actually done anything else other than sneak out of my room into my porch area and then come back into my room. But like, honestly, it was just like, I've never done anything else other bad. But like, because like you said, I learned from my siblings, learned from my older brother and all that. Like,
what not to do? Yeah.
Not doing that. But, you know, I tried not to give my mom as many problems. Mm-hmm. And if I did, it would not be for what they would be
as bad. It wouldn't be as bad. Like, I'm going to cut you a break a little bit. My mom has a really good story about her running away.
Oh my goodness.
She has a really good story about her running away. My mom ran away to New York. She didn't run away. She snuck out with a friend. She was supposed to be at her friend's house.
Does she know you're sharing this information?
She went to a friend's house. She lied to her mom, and she told her mom that she was going to be at her friend's house. Long story short, she went to New York, and a whole bunch of different things happened in New York, which postponed her coming back home. Yo, my mom has to come. When my mom comes as a guest, I'm going to tell her to tell everybody about that story.
Oh my goodness.
Because it is so funny. She had like a whole series of different things happen, and I can only imagine her, like, the fear in her, like, oh my God, I'm in a whole nother city. I'm in a whole nother city, and my mom doesn't even know it. My mom, at the end of the story, her mom started suspecting that she wasn't local, that she was supposed to be local at her friend's house for a sleepover. She was sleeping over, so she didn't lie all the way, but she slept over in New York. And yeah, it was a big mess. So when my mom comes as a guest, I'm gonna have her share that, because I feel like everybody needs to know.
And it's like, you know, I can feel like then that part, it's like God going, hey, I told you not to do it. You're the one who did it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, like you said, it was that pastor saying, like, hey, you want to know the reason why they didn't want you? It's because they did it.
Yeah.
And they know the consequences, you know.
They want to save you from the trauma, the addiction, like anything that you can possibly go through somewhere where you're not supposed to be. Your parents try to avoid you from going through that.
And I feel like it's such a good thing to, like, you know, now looking back at it, it's like, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad, for taking me to church and not forcing me, but, you know, like, obviously, like, you have to be here. You have to do it.
At that point in time, it felt like you were being forced.
Yes.
Because you were
not
like,
against my will.
Yeah, like getting dragged to church, and you're like, I don't want to.
I remember I was begging my mom for earrings for like the longest time. And my dad was always no. And my mom, when we stopped going to that big church, we were gonna go to the second one, and we were in between churches. So she was in between churches, and she's like, te voy a llevar, like, I'm gonna go take you to get your ears pierced. And I'm like, what about Dad? She goes, I don't care what he says. So she was gonna do it behind my dad's back.
Scandalous.
And then I was like, oh, okay. So she was gonna pick me up after school, and we were gonna go. She picks me up, and then she starts driving to, like, the house, and I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? I thought we were gonna go get my ears pierced. And she's like, no, I ran into someone at Walmart, and she introduced me to a new church. We're going to church tonight. I'm like, I was like, I looked up, and I was like, really?
So close yet so far.
And then I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. I was praying for God to show me a church, and he showed me a church, and now we're going. I'm like, I was so mad. I remember calling Nati and Ruthie, and I'm like, can y'all come with me? Like, I don't want to go alone to this new church like my mom. So we picked them up, and we were going, and oddly enough, this was the church where I met my husband in. So can you imagine?
Oh.
I was just like, I was still so mad.
Wow.
And like, I walked in, and we're there, and it was like a Tuesday for
You're
prayer.
still thinking about it, and you're still
I
thinking
was
about
still
it, like
thinking about it. I was so mad, and I'm walking, and he's just sitting there on the drums going like this. And mind you, it's like prayers and the lights are off. He's just looking all creepy in the corner, and I'm just like, why does he keep staring at me?
who's this creep?
But I was just like, Mom's
And he's
forcing
gonna
me to another church.
probably say another story on the other his side of the story is probably gonna be, well, she was looking at me. Watch, he's probably gonna.
He was gonna probably be like, well, I was looking at the people you were with because I knew them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
so. Like, but it was like, I was just like, really, Mom, like, really, you forcing me to come to this one. And I even told her, I remember telling her, I don't want to go to this church. You can go. You're forcing yourself. You want to be here. You go here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 14 and thought I could, whatever. I thought.
You thought there's a lot of controversy now that you mentioned that. There's a lot of controversy about like the whole earring thing, like why some Christians don't believe in getting their ears pierced, why some of them do, why some of them wear earrings, why some of them don't. So we'll cover that in another episode because we obviously want to be
And like I
prepared
said,
for that.
it's also everybody's personal conviction. Your conviction with God, you do you. As long as you have that personal connection and that conviction with God, that is on you. Obviously, we'll talk about it in another episode. This was just a personal story for me.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that because we don't want people to be confused or feel like, we do certain things or you know what I'm saying? Like we're not.
Yeah.
I don't want to put that out there like that because that's very far from the truth.
Yeah, because even after that, I remember telling my mom about it, and she's like, "Yeah, vamos otro día. Like we'll go another day." And I was still waiting.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
There's
was
a
just
lot of
more like she was just like, "Oh yeah," but it wasn't. It's like I said, it's everybody's personal conviction. And then to me, I was just like, I just wanted it because I wanted to rebel against my dad going no.
Yeah, because your dad said no, so you wanted to do it.
It's like I want it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Feel that.
it's the rebelling part.
That's the rebelling part. Yeah, all of us go through that stage. We've all gone through that, and for our young viewers that have yet to go through that, you're gonna go through that. You're gonna go through that. Not saying that you're not gonna love God anymore. You're not gonna, have a certain type of love for certain things because you still are. But you're gonna want to try and experience those things that your parents so desperately tell you not to do, because that's just how we're wired, I guess. I mean, I don't know how else to word it. I definitely went through that stage where I was like, again, not that I didn't love God and not that I didn't want to go to church because I didn't like it or whatever, but it was more so like my parents are making me do it,
and I don't want to.
This makes me not do it. This makes me not want to do it. This is why, and you separate yourself for a little bit until you find yourself, until you're like, wait, like this doesn't feel right. And for me, I had that experience, like I was like, I don't want to go to church anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Like I felt like I was so I felt like it was such a routine. Like it was just a little bit too much at the time. And I was like, I'm not going anymore. I don't want to. I don't want to because I want to do something different.
And it's like you still haven't had that personal conviction.
Yeah,
yourself
you
yet.
still haven't had that personal experience with God. And during that time, and let me tell you, it wasn't long. It wasn't long. But during that time, I did have that experience with God, and I did have that emptiness, from the second I said those words, I was like, I don't know if this is a good decision. I don't know if this is a good decision, but I'm going to do it anyways. You see what I'm saying? Because I was being stubborn and I was being hard-headed. And here I am. Here I am, I came, back to my senses and the way that I was feeling about that whole decision, because that's a life-changing decision. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't feel like myself. I feel empty. I feel weird. Like I just didn't feel right.
It's so hard to do that when you grow up in church. It's so hard to let it go and just do the worldly stuff, you know?
That seed is
Like,
already planted.
because you're there thinking, oh my God, God doesn't like this. Why am I doing this? Like, but then you're also having an internal battle with yourself. Like, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyways. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. And then you're just like, oh my God, please stop.
You
It's
have
like,
that fear of God,
yes,
like, oh, like I shouldn't be
so
doing this.
It's like planning, and it's so hard, but it's what needs to happen for us to learn and come back and love Him truly for, you know, who He is.
Yeah, we all have to have those personal experiences for us to motivate us, you know, to motivate us to get closer to God, and not only separating yourself from God like that, but your normal, you know, things that happen in your life, like life-changing decisions like marriage, divorce. Like for me, that was my separation, you know, from the father of my daughter was hard for me, you know, and I could have taken it one or two ways. You know, I could have taken it, okay, God, why are you allowing this to happen to me? This shouldn't be happening. You know what I'm saying?
That you had those questions internally too.
It was one or two things. Like, listen, why are you allowing this to happen to me? Like, why me? Why me? Why me? Or, okay, thank you for allowing this to happen because you were saving me from a situation. How can I use this to grow? How can I use this to my advantage to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to use as a stepping stone to grow, to be a better version of myself, or to be closer to you. And that I have gotten, you know, I have gotten since the separation, you know, I've gotten a lot closer, you know, since my divorce. It's been really good, you know, spiritually. I've felt more connected to God, and I felt like I am doing the right thing. You see what I'm saying? Not only for myself, but for my daughter. And so, like I said, you can look at it one or two ways, you know, one of two ways, and it ties into your growth. It ties into your growth and how you approach certain situations. And I didn't grow up in a divided home. You know, my parents are still together. They had me and my brother, and they've been together, you know, since. And so that's not something that I wanted for my child. And even people that have grown up in separate households, you know, different households, that's not something that they want for their kids. You know, that's not something you initially want for your kids. But I feel like I blocked out a lot of what God was telling me when I was younger, as far as like taking those steps, you know, getting married and getting connected to somebody that didn't have the same beliefs as me. And so I feel like I feel like God allowed those things to happen, and God allowed me to marry this person that I wasn't supposed to marry, because I was being hard-headed, and because I was like, no, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do it like this, and I want to do it like that, and I want to rush things, and I want to do it like this. You see what I'm saying? I feel like God allowed those things to happen to me so that I can be where I am at now. And, you know, it's
part
not
of your testimony.
Yeah, it's part of my testimony, and it's not like I'm, you know, oh, well, I regret being with this person, but I don't regret being with this person. I don't, because this person, number one, gave me my child, gave me my daughter, and she's the best thing that ever happened to me. So this person gave me, you know, my child, but not only did they give me my child, but they also taught me who I really am and what I'm really capable of doing.
And what to expect for the future.
And what to expect for the future, exactly. What I'm capable of doing as far as what boundaries I'm willing to set. Boundaries, we talked about boundaries in the last episode.
Yes.
What boundaries I'm willing to set for that particular, you know, situation in which, okay, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. I need to grow. You know, I need to grow. And yeah, you know, mistakes were made. You know, mistakes were made. We make mistakes every single day. You know, we sin every single day. And the important part is that we ask God for forgiveness, you know, and we grow from that. And I feel like if I didn't go through what I went through, if I didn't rebel the way that I did and push myself away from God the way that I did, God wouldn't have allowed me to feel that emptiness inside for me to want to come running back. You see what I'm saying? So it all ties into each other. And it's so crazy how just 3 years ago, 4 years ago, like I wouldn't be sitting here talking about the stuff that I'm talking about right now. I wouldn't be feeling the way that I'm feeling right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As good as I do, you know, I wouldn't be feeling this way because there's so much more that I hadn't gone through, you know, in that time. And within the last 4 years, I've gone through a lot. You know, we've gone through a lot. And so it really sets the tone for our future and for, you know, what decisions we plan to make in the future and how that brings us closer to God.
And it's important to say that, you know, even when you feel like you're hitting rock bottom, you're never really at the bottom, you know. Especially if we plant him as our foundation, as our rock, we can't hit rock bottom because we're landing on him.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, it was part of your testimony, it was part of you grow, and you had that seed planted in you, so you knew even if when you separated, because of our parents' diligence of always dragging us, or how we like to say, they were dragging us to church,
forcing us to go to church.
It was a way to plant it for the next. And you know, with kids, with my 2 kids, and there are some days where Genesis is like, I don't want to go to church. Why am I going to church? Because we have to. I don't want to go to church. Well, we have to.
But why do we have to?
And it's like, and you're sitting there explaining, you know, Jesus did this, Jesus does that. And the other day, Elijah's sitting there, he goes, Mommy, do I have to pray before I eat? And I'm like, yes, you have to thank God for giving you the food. And he's like, okay, thank you, Jesus. Amen. And I'm like,
hey,
okay.
that's good enough.
Yeah. You know, and then he goes, Mommy, what does Daddy say when he prays for food? And I'm like, thank you, Jesus, for this food. Watch our stomach. Here she comes. And he goes, okay, yeah. So he did it. And I'm just like, I was like, all right, so watch out stomach. Here she comes. And then he's like starting to eat. But I'm like, you're seeing those seeds be planted in our kids, you know? And it's like, okay, now I see why my parents forced me so much to go to church, because now I'm seeing the flowers growing, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember when you were going through your, you know, separation and all that, I remember sending you a song, Flowers in the Valley. And I was like, that song was you. And at the moment, you know, if you guys have a chance to listen to that song, this beautiful song, in the moment you didn't understand what was going on, but he was planting the seeds for the flowers to grow. You know, and now you're seeing those flowers growing. And it's like, okay, now I get it.
Now I get why everything happened the way that it did.
Now I get why my parents were always going, you need to go to church. Now I get why my mom, you know, love my mom even to this day. She still calls me, did you pray? Did you do this? You have to pray more. You have to do this. It's like,
constantly like pushing that.
And it's like sometimes, you know, as humans, we get upset. It's like, Mom, stop reminding me that I have to pray. Stop reminding me that I have to do it. I know what I have to do. But then I sit there and think, okay, you know, that's God telling me, hey, get a little connected more. Like, come on, like, get over here. So it's just like, you know, it's those seeds that we're continuing to plant every day. You know?
Yeah, I wish that I could, like, tell my younger self, you know, certain things.
Gonna be okay.
Like everything's gonna be okay. Like just go with the flow, girl. Like don't push it. Just relax. I really wish that, you know, we could have done that, because it would have saved us from a lot of
heartaches.
But it's all part of our testimony. It's all part of who we are and how we've grown and how we take care of ourselves in the future situations that approach. So
and it's a beautiful thing, you know.
It is a beautiful thing. Growth is a beautiful thing. Even when you feel like you're not growing, you're growing.
Yeah.
Even when you feel
like I said, even when you feel you're at the rock bottom, you're never really there. You know, he's there holding you.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you have that mustard seed, there's nothing else that can, you know, take part of it.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily have to have that mustard seed or that. I mean, the mustard seed, yes. You don't necessarily have to have that seed planted as a kid is what I'm trying to get at.
Yes.
You don't have to have that planted as a kid, you know, just because you know, and some of our viewers maybe are watching this and are like, oh, well, I never went to church as a kid, or my mom never made me go to church. My mom, you know, didn't go to church herself and she didn't make us go to church. That has nothing to do with it. You know, that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, no.
Your time is now. You know, your time is now. If you come across this podcast, your time is now. You know?
Let this be the seed being planted.
Let us, you know, plant that seed for you. And we're here to help you grow and sprout.
Yeah. And, you know, like we said, for any questions or anything, you guys are more than welcome to always send us a message. You know, like send us a DM. We have our TikTok and Instagram always linked down below. And, you know, we're just here to, you know.
Yeah, we're here to answer any questions. If you guys have any questions, like she said, don't be afraid to ask your questions or anything like that. And yeah. So
thank you guys for watching another episode of Soul Sisters Podcast.
See you next time.
Bye.